people still using the word webisode, or is that too 2009? The last webisode. See, I don't like that. The last installment of the history of the Rosary starts right now. We're talking about the most important Marian apparition, arguably in history, Our Lady of Fatima, and the children, Lucia, Francisco, and Jacinta. Fully disclosing that I actually have not seen the movie that just came out on Fatima. I did my research physically, library, books, but please feel free to hit that like button. Please help us by supporting our channel. Go to Bishop Sheen Rosaries and get yourself or a friend a rosary. All rosary sales do help feed the children at Mary Seat of Wisdom School in Uganda. All right, 1916 is when our story begins. World War I era, and 3 children in Portugal were visited by an angel. The angel taught the children to pray, "My God, I believe thee, I love thee, I adore thee, and I pray for those who do not believe thee, love thee, and adore thee." And the angel said, pray this 3 times, because 3 is better than 1. The angel also told them to pray that I offer thee the body and blood, soul, and divinity of Jesus Christ and all the tabernacles of the world. I offer this in reparation for all of the outrage, the sacrilege, and all these things, the sins that offend thee, my God. Also worth noting, these are really young kids too, but God did not shy away from sending his angels to really rip back the curtain and tell them all sorts of things are gonna go wrong in the world, and you need to be praying, little kids. So as I said, these children were shepherd children, and they were in the fields of Fatima, and they were called to this cove. It was a place that Mary appeared to them for 6 months straight, on the 13th of the month, from May until October of 1917. The first one was on May 13th, 1917, and there was a flash of lightning that hit a tree near the cove. Most of what we know about Fatima is told through Sister Lucia, who lived the longest of the 3 children, and we have information on the story through her diaries and her writings. Lucia saw a lady dressed in white, wearing a gold trim, and had a rosary in her hands. And the children would always pray the rosary together, and they actually adopted a short form of the rosary. So if you're cutting your rosary off short, no, you weren't the only one to do that. On the first visit, Our Lady of Fatima essentially laid out the ground rules, saying, you gotta pray the rosary every day, come back here 6 times on the 13th of every month, same hour. I'll be here. We're going to pray together. Also, per usual, keep this a secret. It's between us. Some of the kids couldn't keep it a secret. Word gets around. Some people gather. Second apparition. They want to see what's going on. It's a small town. Everybody talks, right? One thing of note that Our Lady of Fatima reveals to Lucia in this apparition is that actually Francisco and Jacinta will be taken sooner, but God has a plan for Lucia that will require a little bit more time. By the third apparition, the pastor of the local church was kind of frustrated with the children and the stories that they were telling, and he was non-believing. They went to the site on the 13th of, now what is it, July, and they have a lot of fear and doubt, but Our Lady of Fatima revealed to them to continue coming back for the remaining months that she's instructed. The third apparition has what are called the 3 secrets of Fatima revealed to the children, and these secrets, especially the third secret, are heavily controversial, we'll say. The first secret, Our Lady opens her arms and a pit of fire and embers showing the children hell appears before them, and she says that you have seen hell. Keep praying, especially for the world, and if you do not consecrate the world to my most immaculate heart, then a terrible war will break out during the pontificate of Pius XI, foreshadowing World War II. Also, she then goes on to say that you must consecrate the nation of Russia to my most immaculate heart. If not, their errors will spread throughout the entire world. Eerily specific. Now the third secret is the one that's most controversial and most argued over, and that's because it wasn't supposed to be revealed until 1960. And Pope John the 23rd, who was Pope in 1960, opened that secret actually a year early in 59 and said that this is of no use to me. and basically toss the letter aside. So we have competing theories on what exactly that secret was, but we understand that the first part has something to do with the pontificate. A bishop in white with a fiery sword ascending a tall structure is shot down. The words penance, 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 and in Portugal, the dogma of the faith will always be preserved. Mysterious words and much more than I myself can break down. Top theologians and scholars have been trying to really deconstruct this for years, and I'm not going to try to do it within a few minute YouTube video. Point is that there were visions of a lot of terrible things happening to the world and the church if we do not pray and consecrate ourselves to the most Immaculate Heart of Mary. And look what happens when we don't listen. A 20th century filled with more war, more corruption, more scandal, and a lot of it from leaders that we should trust. Speaking of leaders that we should trust, the fourth apparition was foiled. Long story short, the mayor of the village told the kids he would personally escort them through all the crowds in his own town car, and he says, so what? Never mind, I'm taking you to jail. And the kids go to jail for a day, and they have to go back the next day, and Mary's just like, keep coming back for the rest of the times I told you for September and October. Fifth apparition, September 13th, 1917. Lots of people know now. There is no hiding what's going on. Mary is appearing to these children at Fatima. For some reason, a creepy mayor decided to pick them up and try to not take them to the site, so there must be something good happening here. Mary says, keep praying your rosary every day. Pray for your friends, especially those who are sick. Some will be cured. Unfortunately, some will not. Make sure to come back next month. We got a big surprise. Sixth apparition, October 13th, 1917. This is the last time Mary says she's going to appear to the children, and there's roughly 60,000 spectators here waiting to see what will be revealed to the children that day. Lucia asks, will you grant the intentions that I've been praying my rosary for? And Mary says that her son has been greatly offended by the wrongdoings of the world, and some intentions she can grant and some she cannot. She revealed her name as the Lady of the Rosary, and for all those who could not see her, the 60-some thousand spectators, she then put on a little show. This day would be known as the miracle of the sun. The sun grew in size. It looked like fireballs were being hurled at the earth. We have the sun kind of moving and dancing around the sky. People were ducking, shrieking, covering. Considering they were in the middle of World War I, they were probably prepared for some form of attack. They just didn't think it would be coming from the big ball of fire that keeps them warm. Now, I'm not here to make any political commentary on whether you should believe all of the secrets of Fatima or whether you should be completely siding with one theologian's interpretation of Fatima versus another, though it's not what we would consider in the creed something that you must believe. It is an item that has been approved by the church, and specifically Pope Pius XII. He approved the apparitions, he approved the miracle of the sun. There is a lot that goes into Fatima and all of the revelations. It should inspire us to have daily devotion to the rosary as Mary instructed the children. We need to be praying for ourselves. We need to be praying for our deceased. There is heaven, and there is something that we can be saved from, hell. Mary says, in the end, my Immaculate Heart will triumph. Remember that. Take that home. Mary gives us the study guide. She tells us to stay close to her son in the Eucharist, in the Rosary. Do those things regularly. Oh, and everyone's favorite, penance, penance, penance. Can't forget to do some penance. Oh, there's a lot there. All right. I think I covered everything I wanted to cover. Bishop Sheen Rosaries is happy to have presented you a history of the Rosary. That should be the last episode, unless for some reason we are divinely revealed a new set of mysteries or something. This was a lot of research and a lot of work that went into this. I would really appreciate if you subscribed to our channel and shared this video with friends. Comment down below if you learned something about the Rosary in this series, and please let us know what you're looking forward to seeing next. From us to you, through Mary.